The last coaching session that we had in my membership was about self-sabotage. I got moms who told me that they were trying to lose weight and they keep on self-sabotaging. Other moms who are mompreneurs try to develop a business and they keep on procrastinating. Moms who are in the way of their goal is to find someone for their life and they know they have to be patient and really look for the right person, but they're so afraid of being alone that they just go for anyone and they're self-sabotaging the opportunity for the right person to come in their life. What else did I have? Women who said that they wanted to have a better, healthier way of life, but they started exercising, and after a certain amount of time, they found themselves stopping. All kinds of scenarios. We worked in the session, and that's the point that I would like to share with you, like a pointer, to start working with discerning and investigating what is at the origin of the self-sabotage and knowing yourself better so that when you are starting to go on that road, you can stop yourself right away. So the first trigger would be a thought. It's a story you tell yourself, which will trigger an emotion in your body. And that's usually when people get up and do what they're not supposed to do or what they promised themselves that they would not do, or avoid doing what they promised themselves that they would be doing. So there are different kinds of scenarios. And if you can become very aware, develop sharp awareness of your own patterns, your own scenario, because we usually have the same kind of scenario each time. Let me give you an example. For me, when I don't eat healthy, for example, I need to lose weight too. And when I break it is when I start telling myself stories about deserving to enjoy, deserving to have pleasure in life, having a very busy schedule, being an achiever, and always being disciplined in so many things that I do. And that's when I'm like going for the cookie, or usually the French pastry or crepe or whatever. And I know exactly the 3 or 4 stories that I tell myself just before I do that. Because when I tell myself that story, then there is a feeling in my body, which is this emotion for me is more about feeling overwhelmed, feeling deprived. So I feel overwhelmed and deprived. And I'm not sure that deprived is really an emotion, but I feel overwhelmed. And I feel almost like a victim of life. Therefore, I need pleasure. Very transparent with you here. But now I'm very aware of that pattern. So it's very rare that I give in. And when you catch that at this stage, you can still intervene. And today I wanted to give you a complementary video or a short video to work with the emotion, because there is a certain level of uncomfortable feeling, uncomfortable emotion that you need to be able to tolerate if you want to change things. Because if you can't tolerate to be bored or afraid or overwhelmed, all those negative emotions, you will try to do something to suppress them, to avoid feeling those emotions. And that's when you're gonna just grab whatever is handy in your environment, whether it is going out with friends when you know you're supposed to work on your business, or exercise, or eating when you're supposed to eat healthy, going in the fridge and having some sugar late at night, or smoking. If you decided to stop smoking, I quit smoking 22 years ago. Yeah, using my mind, by the way, but that's another story. And if you can know yourself to a point where, oh, I'm starting to feel that, and then because you are aware of your emotion in your body, of this discomfort, you can pinpoint, you can discover, what am I thinking so much now that is making me so uncomfortable? And you can catch that stories. You'll see that some of the stories come, most stories are the same one that come back regularly, in different wording maybe, but the same story. So once you have awareness at this level, I wanted to give you 3 questions today to work with the emotions that are uncomfortable, so you can start finding what's behind them and neutralizing them in advance. So you desensitize your triggers to perform self-sabotage, if you can say it that way. So question number 1 is, who told you that it was bad to feel that emotion? Why is it bad? For example, why is it bad to stay bored? Let's say you are at night in front of the TV and you are watching something and suddenly you're bored and you want to go for the fridge. Who told you that staying bored wasn't good? What kind of story? Why is it bad? Being bored, in fact, can be a luxury. Some people, I know some single moms, don't have the time to be bored. So why is it necessarily bad? And I would even take a piece of paper and write all the reasons why it's bad to feel bored, all of the reasons why it's bad to feel afraid. And of course, I'm not talking about the real danger, because in that case, run, get out, get yourself out of danger. But when it's the case of a fear that is in your mind, why is it bad to be afraid? What are the consequences? What will happen if I stay afraid, if I don't try to suppress that emotion? The second question is, who does it make me? That's a little bit deeper. Let's say that you are someone who becomes uncomfortable, who becomes comfortable with being bored. Does it make you lazy, maybe? I don't know, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Does it make you unproductive? Does it make you dumb? What did you learn? How are you conditioned to think that being bored is a bad thing? To think that you become someone who is not a competent, valuable human being if you are comfortable with staying in that specific negative emotion. And if it is fear, who does it make you if you are experiencing fear? Does it make you someone who's not committed? I know for entrepreneurs, everybody tells you jump. What's that sentence? Oh, jump and your wings will appear. Jump and the net will appear. All kind of stuff like that. Although I did in my life jump sometimes, and my image is jump and you learn to swim once you're in the water, but that was consciously done and a measured risk. I know also that when I go to marketing seminars or business seminars, there is that element of shame that they put on you if you are someone who is not able to transcend your fear. If you are someone who, and of course I'm not talking about staying in fear forever. I'm talking about moment by moment being okay with experiencing fear. And maybe you have a story in your mind that makes you either a bad person, a weak, a coward, unintelligent. I don't know what your story is about someone who's afraid. And that also works for being overwhelmed. Let's say that you are able to tolerate overwhelm and stay overwhelmed for a moment without doing anything. Who does it make you? What kind of person is overwhelmed? Is it someone who's not resourceful, not intelligent? Is it someone who's uneducated? Is it someone who doesn't have, who's not spiritual? Because if you believe, you shouldn't be overwhelmed because you know that everything is orchestrated for you. What is your deal? Who does it make you? And really do those investigation in writing. It will help you immensely. And the last question, and the most important, is what is the invitation in here? Is it an invitation for change of your paradigms, of your model of the world, of the story you tell about yourself, of the real risk that is out there if you really go for it? An invitation to heal? Maybe if you're someone who's overwhelmed and is always living in stress and he has some kind of a feeling, a mentality of lack of time, or you need to heal that. It's an invitation to get out of the victim mentality, of the powerlessness, and take your power back. Heal in yourself. Heal that part of yourself that is powerful, that has maybe never took center stage in your life. Or is it an invitation to reframe, to simply change the story you have about that specific topic? Let's say weight loss, because I have several moms who want to lose weight. Every time they talk about losing weight, there is an element and a vocabulary of suffering attached with doing a diet, going on a diet, going to the gym, because it helps. How do you describe that to yourself, that activity, that the steps that will bring you there? If you use words that trigger a negative emotional reaction, that don't feel good in your body, you won't want to go there. Your brain is going to stop you because it's suffering. If there is one thing that the brain is trying to avoid, it's suffering. So in that case, it's an invitation to reframe and to say, I'm going to eat healthier in a way that I enjoy, maybe. I'm going to learn to cook things that I love and that are good for me. I'm going to take care of myself, because when I take care of myself, life takes care of me, and that starts with food. There are things that I will love that are also healthy and make it possible for me to lose weight. Convince yourself. I'm French, I love food. So I know that there are recipes that are, for example, vegetables with some lean proteins that are delicious and that anybody who's on a diet would love. Just a question of for you to find those recipes. So start really every time you talk about that subject, and you can take a piece of paper and write some kind of affirmations that will bring you there. I now lose weight, and I've heard something recently to not even say lose, because when you lose something, there is unconscious desire to find it back. So I now release my extra weight in a pleasurable way. I now release my extra weight eating delicious food. I now release my overweight, my extra weight, in a fun and stress-free way. I now release my undesired weight in a way that brings more joy in my life. Find combination of words, find affirmations in the positive and present tense that will start rewiring your brain. If you're talking about fear and business, one thing that will remove the fear completely is to think about that one person that you're going to help with your product or your service. Picture them satisfied. Picture their life being better because of your product or your service. Think about them. Start reframing. For me, what took the fear away completely was, I'm doing sacred work. because so many times the universe has orchestrated for me to meet the right person at the right time that I could help, that resonated with me. It was a perfect match made in heaven. So I know I'm doing sacred work. So when I go about making a video like that, marketing some service, giving a talk, I think about you. I think about the fact that what I am going to say is going to be exactly what you need, because there is no randomness. If you're listening, watching that video right now, whether it is on Facebook, on YouTube, or anywhere else, I uploaded it, you were meant to listen. So pay attention and don't start saying, oh, this is too simple. I know that already, because all those things are stories that you tell yourself to resist change. Pay attention. Maybe it's one word that's going to achieve a shift for you inside. And maybe you need to listen to that again. I don't know. You will feel it. But this is not random. So reframe so that the fear isn't there anymore. If it is about, let's say you're looking for the person in your life and you're afraid of being alone, start reframing that too. You are preparing for that person. And even if it takes time, because we don't decide on time, time is really divine timing. You can't make things happen. Our role is to make ourselves ready, to make ourselves vibrating at that. You know how I always explain energy like an elevator? Stop at the right floor to meet the right people, whether it is for business, love, anything. That's our job. The rest is God, the universe, the field, whatever you want to call it. So you're making yourself ready. And I know it will come. And I am already happy right now. Everything that I do right now is already something that I gain. Even, and I'm not saying to affirm that the right person will never come, but even if that person wasn't going to come, I would still love my life, because I do things that I love. And I know it's hard now because we're in the middle of COVID. And if you're watching that after, good, that means we're after COVID. But right now it's a little bit more challenging. So it's also a question of reframing and being aware of your emotions. So start working on feeling okay with the discomfort and investigate the emotion to see what is at the source. Where does it come from? Who does it make you? All that. And what is the invitation for change? You will see, you will thank that emotion. Nothing is random. Our emotions are messages from our subconscious and our body. So, get the message. I'll see you next time with another message. Go and change your life. Mwah.